And welcome back for another episode of The Complete Idiot's Guide to Stationeers with me, 54 Bear, the Complete Idiot. Changes to the base. I have expanded the farming a little bit just to get a bit of variety in the foods and most importantly to grow some soybeans so we can have French fries. Because a world without French fries is not a world I want to live in. Okay. And to make French fries you need soybean oil, and that is made in here from soybeans. You get this, 1 potato, 5 milliliters of soy oil in here, and you get French fries. But this is not a guide on cooking. I've expanded a bit inside here as well. I've added a second battery, and when we go outside you'll see I've added a few extra wind turbines, the large ones. The small ones, they're good for starting off when you first get going, but you need steel, I think it is, to make the big ones. So I've got them going up this hill because I think that looks kind of funky. Also started using some steel frames rather than iron, just because I had them on me at the time. Also, the steel frames give you options to sculpt like this. The only drawback is there is no collision mesh on them. They're not a ramp, you can't weld them. So they look cool, but they're of limited value at this point. Okay, out here, this is where the big changes are. Still got the original furnace. I plan on getting the advanced furnace up and going soon, but in order to do that I need to get some fuel. And for this playthrough I thought it'd be kind of fun to use nitrous oxide. You may notice in the bottom right I'm currently on day 75. I can't remember where I was when the last episode ended, and to be honest I'm too lazy to go and look. I have had a few attempts at getting nitrous oxide into tanks without bursting pipes because it instantly freezes and turns into ice, and so far been unsuccessful. But I have a new plan which I think will work. Just as a review, this is my oxygen tank. Any excess pressure from the base is triggered via these chips to run the oxygen extraction, and that just puts the oxygen straight in the tank. At some point I will use it, but for the moment it's just sitting there. I've got 400,000 moles of it and it's nicely at room temperature. Same with the nitrogen. Main source of the nitrogen so far has been pulling the nitrogen out that gets put into the base when we run this ice crusher for the water. You see there's a pipe cowl there, it was just putting the nitrogen into the base. I noticed the nitrogen was getting a little heavy because there was very little plant use of it, and it was in danger of displacing all the oxygen, so I figured okay, we'll get it out of there. In addition to that, I've added to this network an ice crusher that is going to be for nitrous. So that is going to put all of its gas into this tank, and in addition to that, this filtration unit will be pulling the nitrous oxide out of this tank and pipe network and putting it into here. This little buried thing here is a heat exchanger. It's the smallest one, and to that I have connected, or the other input for it is connected to the tank here, and that is at 386 Celsius, which would be easily hot enough to stop the nitrous oxide from freezing. Now we don't have any nitrous oxide in there just yet, so I haven't actually done anything with it, but I believe I have some on me. Yes I do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this on, drop 50 in there, That's interesting. It's not reading any nitrous oxide. Maybe it hasn't kicked in yet. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the ice crushers work a lot slower than they used to. It would do a whole stack of 50 in about 4 or 5 seconds. Now it takes a lot longer to do that. You can see the nitrous oxide will continue to build up, and being that it's at room temperature, at relatively low pressures, it should be okay. What I shall do, I'll turn this on and open this valve. That'll then put lots of warm gas in here, which should keep the nitrous oxide nice and toasty. And just put the game on pause for a second. You press F1 whilst the game's paused. You can look up this stuff. This is actually nitrogen. I'm not that concerned with. It's the nitrous oxide. I'm not very good at reading these, but from what I can figure out is if you get the temperature above like 160 degrees Celsius, I've checked this so that it's actually reading in Celsius, it's pretty much always going to stay at a gas. Anything below this line here, I believe, is gas. This bit here is liquid, and this bit here is solid. So nitrous oxide is a little bit awkward to deal with because it can turn to a liquid at fairly reasonable temperatures. So, and by increasing the pressure, you put it into this liquid area unless you've got a high temperature. So I'm aiming to get the temperature above 160. I may deal with liquefaction of it by putting in the special valves that deal with that and actually have a liquid tank for it as well. I'm going to wait and see how this experiment goes. So anyway, that's the intention. So hopefully the gas that's in here, and again I could probably pull the nitrous oxide out of there as well. And that would require another filter, maybe I could do it with a one-way valve. Yeah, but so far it seems to be okay. Pressure is relatively low, but the temperature is increasing, so I'm fairly certain this will actually work. Let's throw some more in there. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is when you crush nitrous, you get a lot more nitrogen than you do nitrous oxide. So that's that. This area out here will be the advanced furnace. I want to stay away from using the IC codes. I'm trying to for this whole series purely because it's aimed at newer players, and I know IC code can be scary. If I was doing this just as a general playthrough, we appear to have a incoming storm warning. I would have put all of this onto an IC chip long ago. I mean, all of the chips that you see here could all be replaced with a single IC chip, and they would be able to handle everything, all the stuff back here as well. How are we doing for coal? Fine. Yeah, I added the additional wind turbines because it became apparent that I was relying on coal a lot longer than I had wished to. Right, yes, so I don't have any way out here of showing what the time is for the next storm. Let's see if I have any more nitrous I can throw in. Oh, the storm is working. Oh, everything is in the wrong place. No, I don't. Okay, so just some basic oils, yeah. And I will do a separate tank and ice crusher thing for volatiles. but that will be when we start building the furnace. Anyway, hope you found that useful. I will post another episode as soon as I can. In the meantime, 54 Bear out.